Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking a fundamental shift happening in the world of television. It's pretty urgent stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
Now, we've all heard the common story, right? Massive layoffs at Paramount, Disney, Warner Bros., Discovery.
Huge, James.
Exactly. And the usual explanation is, traditional TV is just losing out to platforms like YouTube. Simple as that.
But the source material we're looking at today, it completely flips that narrative. It argues something much more profound.
Which is?
TV isn't losing to YouTube. TV is losing to AI.
Okay, that's a very different angle, and it has massive implications.
Huge.
So for this deep dive, we're pulling from excerpts of an article called AI Television's Ultimate Adversary and New Frontier. It's part of the AI Survival Guide series.
A really insightful piece.
And our mission for you listening is to unpack why AI is the real game changer here. What does this profound transformation mean for content, for careers, and just the whole future of entertainment?
What does it all mean? Let's get into it.
So to really get a handle on this, let's talk about the scale of the crisis. I mean, traditional TV is facing huge disruption. These layoffs aren't small adjustments.
No, not at all. The article points out, for instance, that Paramount laid off over 1/6 of its workforce.
1/6? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, a number like that signals a really fundamental problem, not just a temporary dip.
And we can all see the shift in habits, can't we? Traditional TV viewing numbers, they've plummeted.
Definitely falling. While platforms like YouTube just keep growing and growing. Seems obvious, right?
Right. Seems like a simple migration.
But here's where it gets interesting, according to the source. The real acceleration point. It was 2015.
2015. What happened then?
That's when YouTube rolled out its deep learning recommendation algorithm, a really sophisticated AI.
Ah, the algorithm.
Exactly. An AI system that learns from just tons of data to figure out what you specifically want to watch next. And once that went live, viewing time on YouTube just, it skyrocketed.
So it wasn't just having videos.
No. It was the intelligence sorting and serving those videos. That was the key.
Okay, so if 2015 was the pivot, what makes these AI platforms so fundamentally different? Why is that intelligence the critical factor, not just the content itself?
Well, think about traditional TV. The source calls it blind, essentially.
Blind? How so?
It doesn't respond to you, the individual viewer. It gets zero real-time feedback from you about what you like or don't like. It's built for a passive one-size-fits-all audience. You just get what's scheduled, right?
Don't tape it or leave it.
Exactly. Now, contrast that with AI-driven platforms. They track everything.
Like what?
Your clicks, how long you watch something, when you skip ahead, what you search for, all of it. They use deep learning to constantly tweak things, customize the feed just for your tastes.
All designed to keep you watching longer.
Precisely. To maximize engagement. And this leads to the source's key insight. Intelligence, not content, is king.
Intelligence, not content.
Right. People don't just want entertainment anymore. They want personally optimized entertainment, tailored just for them.
That's a huge difference. But the article goes even further, doesn't it? It says, beyond these recommendation algorithms, AI brings two even bigger threats.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really transformative. We're talking about the future potentially bending quite dramatically.
Okay, let's tackle the first one. AI assistants, or AI secretaries, as some call them.
Right, and these aren't science fiction. We're talking soon. AI handling really personal stuff for us.
Like managing your email?
Email, phone calls, maybe your home security. The source even suggests they can become like therapists or friends, digital companions.
Wow. Okay, but how does that connect to TV or streaming?
Here's the crucial link. These assistants will manage your content consumption with surgical precision.
Yeah.
Because they'll know you so well.
So they become the gatekeepers.
Exactly. As AI takes control of those recommendation layers, basically, your attention, it controls what you see. What movies, what shows, what videos.
And the article points out something really significant here. TV and streaming companies probably won't own these assistants.
That's right, the likely owners. Think Google, OpenAI, maybe some completely new startup we haven't even heard of yet.
So the power to decide what we watch shifts away from the traditional media companies entirely.
Potentially, yes.
Oh.
It really raises questions about who holds the reins in this future entertainment landscape.
Okay. That's unsettling. And that brings us to the second major AI force the article discusses.
Generative AI. Gen AI.
Right, which is poised to change not just how we get content, but what the content is.
Fundamentally, yes.
Yeah.
Gen AI is AI that creates totally new stuff, text, images.
We've seen that explode recently. So what's the next step? for video and entertainment?
Well, the progression is moving incredibly fast, text to images, then short videos. The source predicts the next leap is full cinematic experiences,
Yeah.
generated in real time.
Generated in real time. What does that actually look like for a viewer?
Imagine experiences that are interactive. They react to your physiological signals, like your eye movements, maybe even your breathing. Yeah, and they'd be fully co-created with you, the viewer. Your reactions shape the story, the visuals, everything.
So it's not like watching a pre-made movie anymore.
Not at all. The article uses this concept.
Yeah.
The idea of rendering a final video file becomes obsolete. Think more like a sophisticated video game engine
Okay.
that's constantly generating a personalized world, a personalized story around you, live, on the fly.
That's mind-bending.
It is. And here's the really shocking prediction from the source. This kind of development, it could make the whole idea of television as we know it irrelevant,
Irrelevant? How quickly?
possibly within 2 to 3 years.
Wait, seriously? 2 to 3 years? That's incredibly fast. That sounds almost unbelievable.
It does sound aggressive, I know.
Yeah.
The article really emphasizes the exponential curve of AI development, plus the huge economic incentives pushing this forward. It doesn't map out every single step, but it paints this as an almost inevitable and very rapidly approaching future.
Okay. Wow. So if this is where things are headed, what does it mean for people, for careers? What should individuals be doing now?
The source is pretty direct about the immediate risks. Junior roles in the TV industry, think editors, assistants, basic writers, they're vulnerable now.
Similar to what we've seen with junior coders or accountants already being impacted by AI.
Exactly like that. Senior roles, they probably have a bit more breathing room, a bit more runway, but even they need to prepare for a major shift. Maybe even look at exiting the traditional structures eventually.
So what are the strategies? What does the source suggest?
3 key things, really. First, develop AI literacy. You have to understand this technology. Second, think about pivoting your role. How can human skills combine with AI? Where's the value add?
And the third?
Entrepreneurship. Start looking at ventures that leverage AI because the barriers to entry are dropping dramatically.
Right. And despite these pretty stark warnings, the article actually ends on a surprisingly positive note, doesn't it?
It does. There's a real sense of opportunity here, too. It's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, explain that part. The opportunity explosion.
Well, AI drastically cuts the cost of innovation. The article gives this example. Something that used to need, say, 10 people, $2 million, and maybe 2 years to build.
Yeah.
Now maybe it takes 2 people, $100,000, and just a few months.
That's a massive difference.
Huge. So, stepping back, what it means is AI unlocks ideas that were just completely unfeasible before because of cost or complexity. It makes now an amazing time for creators, for entrepreneurs, to actually build things.
So the call to action is basically dust off those old passion projects.
Exactly. Those ideas you thought were impossible. AI might just have made them possible. That's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a powerful way to look at it.
So zooming out, this article isn't just, analyzing media trends. It's really a potent call to action.
Yeah.
Adapt or you risk becoming irrelevant.
It reframes the whole TV crisis, not just as cord cutting, but as a symptom of this much larger AI transformation.
Right. And that transformation brings both existential risks and these incredibly powerful opportunities we just talked about.
So who really needs to hear this message? Who is this deep dive a wake-up call for?
Well, definitely professionals already in media and entertainment, that's obvious.
Sure.
But also, really, anyone in more junior white-collar roles across many industries, and importantly, anyone who's ever dreamed of starting their own project, their own business, especially now in this AI age.
Got it. A broad audience, really.
It touches a lot of areas. So maybe a final thought for you to chew on as you go about your day.
Okay.
If content can be generated live, if it can be co-created with our thoughts, our feelings, does the traditional role of the storyteller fundamentally change?
Yep.
Or does it maybe just elevate the idea itself, making the medium less important than the core concept?
That's a fascinating question to end on. Does the idea become even more critical when the execution is potentially automated?
Something to think about.